I'm not speaking in hyperbolic terms when I say that they want you dead. The thing about the left and people on that side is that, well, they control the conversation. So they've never had to extend anything to the logical conclusion to the public. Sometimes they do. They'll say the quiet parts out loud. They do that. And they have become more emboldened. I mean, I think you can see that with how they're handling this sexuality nonsense and with children. They've become more emboldened to say their quiet parts out loud. But they want you dead. Make no fucking mistake. And a lot of their prominent figures are saying American political sense. A lot of those guys say someone say the quiet part out loud. But again, it's not blunt like, okay, I want you dead. They're never going to admit that. You just have to understand what it is that they admit. Dylan Ratigan's fucking piece of fucking crap. Dylan Ratigan. This is what he said. And this is, of course, a response in his advocacy for banning guns. Ban all semi-automatic assault weapons. Now, remember that. An assault weapon to them is whatever they felt like calling it that. Usually it's the big, scary black guns. So that would be a lot of guns that we ban, according to them. A scary black rifle. Then they say offer a buyback of $5,000 a gun for 3 months. No questions asked. So, talking about trying to bribe people to give up their weaponry. And some of y'all some of y'all would do it. $5,000. No questions asked. And then he says after 3 months, this is the part here. 3 months, possession is a felony. And then he says offer $5,000 for anyone who reports possession with no questions asked. So he wants the government to encourage people to snitch on their neighbors. There was a lovely actress. She's done some films in the past. She did a little MMA as well. Recently, unfortunately, because of her political position on a meme that she shared that seemed to highlight exactly that. And they said that, she was somehow being anti-Semitic and all of that stuff. And that lovely actress basically had to revamp her career in a different way. All because she said that this was exactly what they were trying to do or what they were going to do. Or not even that. What she was more so saying was that, hey, this shit does not happen overnight, nor is it something that the government just inflicts themselves. They require the citizenry to turn on each other. What about that? And here you go. Dylan Ratigan. This is not some sock account. He's blue check marked. You know him. He's on there. I don't know if he's still doing that show on MSNBC. But he's saying that he wants the public to be encouraged with and bribed into snitching on their neighbors. Gina Carano was right. She was right. Background checks, mental health, and licenses. Basically, what they want to do is make it more difficult for you to be able to own a weaponry. Now, to the left who are disingenuous, because again, remember, they have not been forced to have to atone for anything it is that they have said. They don't atone for anything. And because the other side that they argue with, definitely on the subject of gun rights, they're always on the defense. So they don't have any reason to actually be on the defense themselves because they have the other side on the defense all the time. But I'm going to give it to you straight, and I'm going to give it to you bluntly. If possession is a felony, that means that you are going to criminalize a large swath of people. And he says after 3 months. So you're going to criminalize a big block of the American populace. And then once you encourage people to snitch on them for money, right? you've essentially started a civil war. Now let's extend this to the logical conclusion, minus even the war effort that you would inevitably start if this was your approach. They're going to say, well, I'm not advocating, I just want a ban, right? Because again, they're not on the defense ever. They're going to say, I just want a ban. Okay, let's talk about it. People have possession of the guns right now. The people that decide that they're not going to sell it, they're not going to give it up, you have criminalized them. Okay. Let's say either by way of Fed boy stuff, spying, or by way of snitching. Officers, be it locally, federally, or whatever, decide to go and address this, okay? Let's say they arrive at their houses, which is a lot of this where it would happen, that people that would be in possession of this weaponry. And then you said, hey, we're coming to collect. You are a criminal. And let's just assume, instead of going away, what happens when that person says, no? The federal agents, the cops just leave? No. What you are advocating for is killing citizenry because they own a weapon that you don't want them to. Because you are a stupid son of a gun. And you actually believe that a ban in itself, because you saw an island do it, would mean that there would somehow be less violence. As if our geography that exists does not exist. As if the guns all that are already out there are going to say poof and just leave. You are advocating violence upon your fellow man and woman. And you are a violent piece of crap. And you want your neighbors dead for owning a weapon that you don't know anything about. And I think that people on our side should actually be forcing these guys to admit that out loud and extend it to the logical conclusion instead of trying to control the conversation and make it seem like they care about the lives of people, which they don't. And they show you that when they're willing to criminalize you, not because you acted criminally. No, it's not an actual crime. There's no victim. Me just having my rifle is not there's no victim there. You're just criminalizing me for your own, to coddle your own emotions. That's it. That makes you the evil one here. That makes you the baddie here. And I think folks that value gun rights or whatever you want to call it need to be on the offensive in this regards and controlling the conversation. And part of that means that they need to be pressured to admit exactly that. They want you dead.